A lot of people think that the strength of the United States is its size, and yes, it's a very large country, or the natural resources, and yes, they are really plentiful. But the true strength of America is our people, and particularly the diversity of our people and our people's mutual support of each other. As the Latin phrase on our money says, e pluribus unum, out of many, one. That means that America is actually a stronger country than it was 5 minutes ago, because we've added 1,000 citizens in those 5 minutes, and that is a very great thing, not just for you, but for our country. Becoming a U.S. citizen means you no longer owe allegiance to the government of another country. It certainly does not mean that you can't continue to eat the foods that you grew up with, or speak the language that you spoke with your parents, or root for your home city's soccer team. But it does mean that you are now an American, someone whose allegiance is to the United States. There may be other countries in the world that have big naturalization services like this. I don't know, but I think that this is probably unique to the United States. I think in most countries, citizenship means going in front of a government clerk, filling out a form, maybe making an oath, and of course there are tests in education before that. But here we make a big deal of it, and we make a big deal of it because the strength of America is its immigrants. The United States of America would never have succeeded if it had not been for the contribution of generations of immigrants such as yourself. The founder, the first president of our country, President George Washington, remarked that America is open to receive not only the rich and high-ranking stranger, but, quote, the oppressed and persecuted of all nations and religions, whom we shall welcome to our participation in all our rights and privileges. Those are very fine words from President Washington, but of course we can't forget that when President Washington spoke those words in the 18th century, he owned other people. He enslaved them. That is something that would be unthinkable today. President Washington's conscience apparently bothered him about this, but not so much that he freed anyone until he died. There's a difference then between what President Washington said and what he did. A contradiction that went right down the middle of his heart. I choose to look at that contradiction as cause for optimism, not pessimism, and here is why. Today, it would be absolutely unthinkable to own another person, and in fact, you would be prosecuted for a crime if you tried. Our society has moved closer to President Washington's words and further from President Washington's actions. That has happened because there is, in my admittedly biased opinion, no society on earth that has the capacity for self-correction that the United States of America has. That capacity to heal ourselves in the direction of moral progress, in the direction of justice. It's not something that we drink in the water, it's not something that we get from the air. We get it from democracy. It comes from people participating in America, voting, even though it's the end of a long day and they're busy, turning out for public meetings, even though they're tired, peacefully protesting against injustice, even if it seems that no one is listening. Our Constitution is intelligently crafted to promote democracy, to protect the things people need in order to be in a democratic society: freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of worship, freedom to vote. Being an American is a great privilege. From this day forward, you enjoy the full, complete protection of our Constitution, our laws, and all the rights that there are. But if you do it conscientiously, being an American can also be hard work. You are now part of our story. Please make your part a speaking part. Register to vote. Participate in the life of your community. And when you do so, remember that we're all Americans, and that America will thrive only if we all look out for each other. We are living through a time of divisiveness and of great anger. How to overcome that? I'm going to say that the way is for each of us, starting with you, to set an example of tolerance, compassion, generosity, and public service that any of us would be proud to follow. On a personal level, naturalizations are very meaningful to me. I am one of 7 United States magistrate judges here in Minnesota. Of those 7, 3 of us, including me, are naturalized citizens. People who took the same tests you did, sat where you are sitting now, took the same oath that you did. America is far from perfect, but it is unusual, I think, for nearly half the judges on a court of any country to be immigrants. America offers you great opportunity. America asks a lot of you in return, and I wish you the very best in your personal journey. Thank you.